Happy 2024, everybody. This is Peg. I am the host of this channel, The History Shelf, and I am so pleased to finally be here to make my announcement for Historathon 2024, which has already begun. I meant to have a video up at the last week of Christmas, but I came down with a really gnarly chest cold, and I've just gotten my voice back over the last day or two. So I thought it was strong enough to go ahead and make my Historathon 2024 video with my pile of possibilities and TBR, which I'm showing you a bunch of books because I thought, A, everyone loves to look at a lot of books. B, you might get some ideas for yourself, or you just might be really intrigued by some of these books and might want to pick them up, whether for this quarter or just any old time. But I have a TBR. I'm going to try to commit to 2 books for this quarter. For those of you who are new to what Historathon is, I would refer you back to my description box, and I will link, see if I can give you a friendly URL for all of the Historathon 2023 videos. Basically, it's an event. It began last year. It was a big hit. We've got a Discord group. I have a slate of co-hosts. I am one of the co-hosts of Historathon since last year, and I'm dedicated to having more videos around Historathon 2024. Health willing, that's my New Year's resolution, is I am not going to get sick ever again. So wish me luck on that. I've got about, let's see, seven other co-hosts, and I'm going to list them all in the description box below, along with the relevant details about the event. But essentially, we break down history reading. We're trying to get the community of readers who may not normally indulge in history reading. We want to just fire up your imaginations and to realize that history is really fun. It's fun to learn. When you read about things that happened in the past, you just come away like you just want to keep knowing more. That's what happened to me when I was young, and I've been on a history journey for ever since. And the passion only grows every year. And what I know is infinitesimal. So you can never reach a peak of learning. So what we do is we break down the year into quarters. Excuse me. And in January and March, we will focus on reading books, articles, journals, whatever, around historical events between prehistory and 500 AD. And then April, June, we have from 500 to 1500 AD, and that'll be your time frame reference to pick, reading in that period of time. And then July through September, we go from 1500 to 1820. And then the last quarter of the year, October to December, we go from 1820 to present day. Okay. And I was going to have a video up, but then I got sick. But I was going to have a book chat with Bill Rutenberg about our one of our last reads in October through December of 2023. But you know what? I'm not giving up on that yet. And Bill, I'll send you a Voxer because there's a book upcoming by the same author that I'm wondering we might actually be able to read both. We've read one and we can read the new one together, and maybe we can do a comparison of the two because the topics are quite similar, kind of revolving around founding fathers and stuff like that, and American Revolution. But anyway. So I'm not giving up on that. I will have a follow-up and I will tag it for last year, but that'll be coming up later on in the year. But for right now, I picked out a bunch of books covering prehistory to roughly 500 AD, and with the intent that I'm not going to read all of these because I have limited time. But I have 2 that I will be reading, and one I actually will be writing a review for, so I will have definite feedback on that. Okay. So with that said, let's see. I'm not forgetting anything right now. I'll include details on how if you want to join in as far as on Discord. It's an open community chat, and people share pictures and what they're reading and their insights, and it's a really vibrant community. I haven't had a chance to really dive into some of the conversations are really in depth, and but they're fun to read even if you don't have a lot of time to write back. It's worth your time. So I'll include all the information in the description box below. So please check that out for all the relevant details, and follow all of my co-hosts. Hit subscribe to their channels and hit notifications, and as well as mine, so you can. I'll always be using the hashtag Historathon 2024 for the books that I'll be talking about, and every quarter we'll have a new video up with our pile of possibilities, is what a lot of us call it, or TBRs. So, okay, with that housekeeping out of the way, let's start with, I'm sensing a theme with a lot of my books here with the ancient history. Rome is figuring kind of big time for this year for me, along with a couple of others that I'm really intrigued by. But on my pile of possibilities, I'm going to start with this author. I have a few of his books, and I have not yet read him, and I really want to. And there's a set. These books are really they have a distinctive look. The publisher is Wiley, and it's Stephen Dando Collins. He's written a bunch of different books, and they have this kind of look to them. Okay, I've got this Blood of the Caesars and the Ides on my shelf in my parlor downstairs. And I'm trying, and he also wrote Caesar's Legions, and I think I have that one, but it's, when we moved into this new house a couple of years ago, I'm still trying to get things organized. Yeah, he's got like 6 or 7 books in this series on his histories of Rome. So let's see here. Yeah, he's got a lot. Well, I'm gonna see if I can get the other ones. They're somewhere. But anyway, I picked up Blood of the Caesars. And maybe let's go somewhat sequentially. So the Ides, sorry for the glare, is Caesar's murder and the war for Rome. All right. And this book came out in 2010. Okay. All right. It says here the assassination of Julius Caesar is one of the most notorious murders in history. 2,000 years after it occurred, many compelling questions remain about his death. Was Brutus the hero and Caesar the villain? Did Caesar bring about his own death by planning to make himself king of Rome? Was Mark Antony aware of the plot, and did he let it go forward? Who wrote Antony's script after Caesar's death, which I loved so much from William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar? I memorized it once. I wish I still remembered it. Pardon me. Using historical evidence to sort out these and other puzzling issues, historian and award-winning author Stephen Dando Collins takes you to the world of ancient Rome and recaptures the drama of Caesar's demise and the chaotic aftermath as the vicious struggle for power between Antony and Octavian unfolded. For the first time, he shows how the religious festivals and customs of the day affected the way the assassination plot unfolded. He shows, too, how the murder was almost avoided at the last moment. So obviously this book came out in 2010, and there's been just a ton more writing and biographies, insights, fresh analyses and all this on Caesar. But I like to go back and read old histories. Old, it's only 13 years old, right? But because I've never read this author, and I like to see different historians' writing styles. So I kind of wanted to introduce, in case anyone is not aware of Stephen Dando Collins. I'm sure many of you are, who are ancient history fans. But I wanted to get him on the list of pile of possibilities. And then the other book I have here to hand was Blood of the Caesars, How the Murder of Germanicus Led to the Fall of Rome. And again, these were put out by Wiley Publishers. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to read from the inside, Jack. There's a little bit more detail. It was an unfitting death for any Roman soldier. For the empire's greatest hero, a brilliant 33-year-old general, fierce warrior, and gifted diplomat, beloved by the people and in line to become the third emperor, to die in his bed after suffering weeks of agony was more than a shock. It was a crime. Germanicus Germanicus Julius Caesar died with the names of his presumed murderers on his lips, imploring his friends to bring charges against them. The year was AD 19. And says noted historian and author Stephen Dando Collins, the seeds of the destruction of the empire had just been sown in blood of the Caesars. It says here the fifth of his stirring histories of Rome. Dando Collins delves into this ancient murder mystery with a fresh eye, a keen mind, and a host of questions. He lays out the evidence that Germanicus was poisoned, assesses the eases, sorry, the type is very small, assesses the cases against those accused of the murder, and unearths a raft of new suspects, many of whom were among the most prominent and respected citizens of Rome. Then he supplies a stunning solution to the mystery. That's kind of awesome. And in fact, the back says something about that not only is this like a brilliant investigation of his death and its aftermath, it is both a compelling, thought provoking history and a first class murder mystery with a plot twist Agatha Christie would envy. Yay! And I need to film an update on where we're at with our Agatha Christie and our Marple, and I'm going to be doing that shortly. So please hit the notification button, come back to me because I've got more planned. Now that I'm getting my health back, I am raring to go. I just want to make videos so much. I wish I could just do that full time. But I've got two other jobs. So, anyway. Okay, so we've got two possibilities here of Stephen Dando Collins on ancient Rome. But we're not done with Rome yet. I got this book last year. I should say Blood of the Caesars came out in 2008. So actually, he wrote this one before Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar's assassination. Okay, yeah. 2008 was Blood of the Caesars. Now, this book came out, I think, 2022. No, 2017? It's been that long? Wow. Okay. Time flies. It feels like a brand new book to me. Still is. We've got The Storm Before the Storm, The Beginning of the End of the Roman Republic by Mike Duncan. It was put out by Public Affairs Books. And what do we have here? So, the Roman Republic was one of the most remarkable achievements in the history of civilization. Beginning as a small city-state in central Italy, Rome gradually expanded into a wider world filled with petty tyrants, barbarian chieftains, and despotic kings. And that's America today. Or is about to be. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys. Okay. Well, we do have barbarian chieftains. That's fantastic. Through the centuries, Rome's model of cooperative and participatory government remained remarkably durable and unmatched in the history of the ancient world. In 146 BC, Rome finally emerged as the strongest power in the Mediterranean. But the very success of the Republic proved to be its undoing. The Republican system was unable to cope with the vast empire Rome now ruled. Rising economic inequality disrupted traditional ways of life. Endemic social and ethnic prejudice led to clashes over citizenship and voting rights. And rampant corruption and ruthless ambition sparked violent political clashes that cracked the once indestructible foundations of the Republic. So what I want to say is, if you're a new viewer, and if specifically you're like a millennial or Gen Z, and welcome, please stay. Please stay. Learn to love history. Let history be your teacher, not mass media. Dive into these works. Dive into old works. Teach yourself, because you really can't trust anything anyone's saying anymore. But what these books are this book Dust Jacket Copy is telling you, it reads almost like today, right? Because history is a continuum. It's a circle. It comes in waves, and it all touches back on what happened before. Sorry, still very very hoarse, but I mean, look at this. I mean, that this is what we're living through again. Chronicling the years 146 to 147 BC, the storm before the storm dives headlong into the first generation to face this treacherous new political environment. Abandoning the ancient principles of their forebearers, men like Marius, Sulla, and the Gracchi brothers set dangerous new precedents that would start the Republic on the road to destruction and provide a stark warning, here you go, about what can happen to a civilization that has lost its way. So, yeah. I just, yeah, I want to, I kind of wish I was Neo from the Matrix, where I could just get something implanted in my head and then boom, I know Kung Fu. Boom, I could have all these books read like that because it just takes time. I'm not a super fast reader. When I'm not being disrupted, I could average about with nonfiction, and especially anything that's written in a very scholarly fashion, about 30 to 35 pages. If it's fiction, 50 pages an hour. Uh, this maybe 40 pages an hour. So, it just takes a while, but it's always worth the investment. So, The Storm Before the Storm by Mike Duncan is another one of my possibilities. And you'll find out, stay to the end of this video because I will reveal the the two books that I'm going to read and one I haven't decided on yet. I'm going to decide as I'm doing this video. So the next book I have is I think I've shown it in a previous video in December as part of a new history on the horizon. And this book, sure enough, is coming out in February. And we're going to go to Greece now, and we're going to go to ancient Greece. And this is The Killing Ground, a biography of Thermopylae by Mike Cole and Michael Livingston. So right now I have an advanced reading copy. It says here, since the dawn of the classical era up to World War II, thousands have lost their lives fighting over the pass at Thermopylae. The epic events of 480 BC, when 300 Spartans attempted to hold the pass, has been immortalized in poetry, art, literature, and film, but no history has ever detailed all other 12 events. From the very first battles to those fought by Romans, Byzantines, Huns, and Ottomans during the medieval periods, all the way until the two desperate struggles against German occupying forces during World War II, The Killing Ground details the background and history of each conflict as well as the personalities and decision making of the commanders, the arms and tactics of the troops, and how each battle played out. Cole and Livingstone have surveyed. Did I say living? Oh, oh, they got the typo on the back. See, eagle eyes. I know it's an advanced copy, so they'll probably pick out that typo, but it's Cole and Livingston have surveyed the ground to provide a boots on understanding of each battle. Their command of multiple ancient and medieval languages means they have provided their own translations of much of the source material, ensuring new insights into each battle. This uncompromising scholarship is woven together into a compelling and unforgettable history that grips the reader from the start. Now, obviously, this is a wide-ranging one, but I am including this in my ancient history category because I love reading about Thermopylae, and actually much of this book, let's see here, it's pretty much, yeah, the reason why I'm including this is because up until about page, I know that the parameters are prehistory through 500, but almost the entire book, if you can see this, the entire book covers that. And even chapter 19, it's AD 539. So we're still really close. I didn't want to throw this one out of the not competition. I mean, the last couple refer to battles in 997 and then 1822, 1941, 1943. But the majority of this book is all ancient history. So I'm including it, making my own rules on that one. So we've got The Killing Ground, a biography of Thermopylae by Mike Cole and Michael Livingston. So we got some good stuff there. So let's see here. Ah, yes, let's do this one. I've got so many. I don't know what to do. Oh, let's go back. No, Ancient Rome. I forgot. I wanted to pull one of my folio books off the shelf behind me here, right there. You can see the empty slot is right there. This is where this lives. I picked this one up from Folio Society. I don't know when, or actually, I might have found it online, third party, used, new, and it is beautiful. It is pristine. There's not a smudge on it. And this is Suetonius, baby. This is the 12 Caesars. Roman Empire, 96 AD. It's translated by Robert Graves. I mean, it's a classic. It goes over the in Suetonius's beautiful, like elegant prose. 12 Caesars. We've got Julius Caesar, Augustus, Tiberius, Gaius Caligula, Claudius, Nero, Galba, Otho, Vitellius, Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. And they're snapshots. They're just kind of like. Oh, this is a good segue into the next book. Yeah, Plutarch's Lives. He did like I don't say compare and contrast, but he would do like parallel lives, right? It was also called that. Like a Greek and a Roman, and they kind of compared the two. It was like brief biographical personality shots. And so this is more of his. It's dramatic. There's drama in his writing, but this looks really good. He's got Cicero in here talking about Caesar, and um, I got some nice artwork that the line art. I don't know, call that line art like a Folio Society always commissions such great artwork on the insides of their pages and in the end papers. Claudius afterwards deified. So yeah, I just really wanted to crack this one open, and I haven't read Suetonius's 12 Caesars, so I wanted to include that in this pile of possibilities. And obviously, if you're into that, you don't need a fancy edition like this unless you really, want it. I mean, there's great Penguin Classics editions. You can get it anywhere. Probably read it free online as well. Let me take a quick sip here. How about them Lions? Got screwed by them Cowboys. No, we didn't get screwed by the Cowboys. We got screwed by the refs. So good luck today, Pittsburgh and Baltimore, because you're getting the same ref that cost us a game, cost us a win. But I'm not bitter. No. Oh, and hey, how about them Wolverines? Woo! I should have worn my Wolverine shirt. Well. We'll get it. We still have a big championship game coming up on Monday, so fingers crossed. Okay, fingers crossed. Going for the national. All right. So I said Suetonius kind of leads into this next book, and this is a biography of a famous Roman. Yeah, he was Roman, and I really I'm surprised I haven't read this sooner, but I really want to read it. And this is The Shadow of Vesuvius: A Life of Pliny by Daisy Dunn. This came out a few years ago. Pretty short. This is put out by Live Right or Live Right, Live Right. Yeah. Um, this came out 2020. No, 2019. Time flies. When Mount Vesuvius erupted in the autumn of AD 79, excuse me, spewing a cloud of pumice and ash. I say pumice, it's probably pumice. I don't know. Potato. Pumice and ash, miles above the Bay of Naples, Pliny the Elder, historian and admiral of the Roman Navy, was stationed in Misenum, across the water from the volcano. An indomitably curious observer of natural phenomena, Pliny summoned his ships, intending to sail toward the spectacular chaos. The elder's journey was ultimately diverted to Stabae, where he died a hero's death, attempting to rescue desperate villagers fleeing the eruption's debris. Having declined his uncle's invitation to join the perilous expedition, Pliny the Elder's precocious 17-year-old nephew, known today as Pliny the Younger, was back at Misenum, reading and studying as the cataclysm ensued. Adopted by the elder, Pliny the Younger would eventually become a wealthy landowner, lawyer, senator, poet, and a renowned chronicler of his times, memorialized in the hundreds of letters he wrote to the emperor, senators, and other notable Romans. In The Shadow of Vesuvius, the first dual biography of the Plinys, classicist Daisy Dunn traces the dramatic story of the fateful eruption and its aftermath in the Roman Empire during the tumultuous years of the first century, from the dire days of political intrigue, infighting, and terror under Emperor Domitian to the gentler, more peaceful times of Emperor Trajan. Not only a highly engaging history of Rome, Shadow of Vesuvius is also a moving narrative of the elder's profound influence on his adopted son, showing how the younger spent much of his adult life striving to emulate the intellectual accomplishments of his father. Bringing together the interconnected stories of these two Renaissance men of antiquity, Donne interweaves the younger Pliny's often self-serving, sometimes grandiloquent, but always interesting letters. That's the book he wrote, Letters, with extracts from the elder's 37-volume natural history, an enormous compendium of knowledge that would inspire luminaries from Francis Bacon and Michel de Montaigne to Charles Darwin and Mary Shelley. So, The Shadow of Vesuvius, The Life of Pliny, a double biography of the elder and the younger, by Daisy Dunn. Yay. Okay, I'm getting there. And then I kind of wanted to, there's another theme here going on. We're talking about ancient writers, ancient historians, right? So this is another book on my TBR I want to get to. It's been out for quite a bit now, but it's still very much worth reading, I think. And it came out in 2014. This is Why Homer Matters by Adam Nicholson. This came out by Henry Holt in 2014. And as you know, I'm a big fan of the Iliad, in the Odyssey too. But I love the Iliad, and I still need to get around to the Aeneid. I did pick up a paperback. I finally got my matching set up there. It's hidden behind my cross, right there. But I've got the Iliad, Odyssey, and then the Aeneid right next to it. You can't see it. Anyway, Adam Nicholson sees the Iliad and the Odyssey as the foundation myths of Greek and our consciousness, collapsing the passage of 4,000 years and making the distant past of the Mediterranean world as immediate to us as the events of our own time. Why Homer Matters is a magical journey of discovery across wide stretches of the past, sewn together by the poems themselves and their metaphors of life and trouble. Homer's poems occupy, as Adam Nicholson writes, a third space in the way we relate to the past, not as memory, which lasts no more than 3 generations, nor as the objective accounts of history, but as epic, invented after memory, but before history, poetry, which aims to bind the wounds that time inflicts. The Homeric poems are among the oldest stories we have, drawing on deep roots in the Eurasian steppes beyond the Black Sea, but emerging at a time around 2000 BC when the people who would become the Greeks came south and both clashed and fused with the more sophisticated inhabitants of the eastern Mediterranean. The poems, which ask the eternal questions about the individual and the community, honor and service, love and war, tell us who we became, who we are. So that is that is why Homer matters. And let's see, the battle face of the Iliad, right? One of the golden masks discovered by Heinrich Schliemann in the shaft graves at Messini in 1876. So we got lots of good, history geek stuff in the center, and his pictures of and archaeological finds and good stuff. So why Homer matters? Yeah, I wanted to include that. So that is also a possibility for this quarter. Okay, so then I wanted to shift a little bit. We're mostly kind of over on the Eastern, the European angle, Rome, Italy, Greece. Yeah, we kind of focus heavily. Then I wanted to go to the Western Hemisphere. Um, Wait, I wanted to go to North America. No, Central America. Central America, Western Hemisphere. Um, Guys, I am not fully 100%, but not the sharpest tack today. But my voice is back, so I figured, hey, let's get it going. Okay, take a deep breath. We're almost there. Um, I haven't read a while about the Mayans, and I've always been in Aztecs for that part, But Wait a minute. No, I'm gonna leave that one out. Okay, so we're gonna stick to we're at 30 minutes. I got two more books to show you. Um, so I haven't read about like ancient Mexican, the cultures there in a while, and I really want to get back into it. So I picked off the shelf the fifth edition. No, sorry, eighth edition. My eyesight is not doing well today. Of the Maya, eighth edition by Michael D. Coe. It's a great hardy Thames and Hudson volume. I think these are standard, probably supplemental textbooks in many places. They go through so many different editions. I think I probably even have an older edition downstairs somewhere else, but this one lives in this room. So, yeah, I always like to have these updated. They're just bursting with photos and maps and well, these blueprints of their village layout and stuff like this. Um, I love stuff like this. I mean, I've been a lifetime subscriber for the most part to Archaeology magazine, so this stuff is just perfect for me. Got some color. All right, so what do we look at in this eighth edition? The Maya has long been established as the best, most readable introduction to the New World's greatest ancient civilization. In these pages, Michael D. Coe distills a lifetime scholarship for the general reader and student. The fully revised and expanded 8th edition incorporates the latest archaeological and epigraphic research, which continues to proceed at a fast pace. Among the finest new discoveries are the spectacular polychrome murals of Calakmul, which provide archaeological evidence for the importance of marketplaces in the classic Maya cities, as well as giving a unique glimpse into Maya daily life. Other recent finds relate to the initial peopling of the Maya area by early hunters and archaic peoples. It is clear that the birth of Maya civilization lies not in the classic, but during the pre-classic period, above all in the Mirador Basin of northern Guatemala, where the builders of gigantic ancient cities erected the world's largest pyramid as early as 200 BC. In addition, the persistent influence of the precocious Olmec civilization, they're so precocious, of southeast Mexico on the development of complex society in the Maya area has become more apparent. These and other discoveries suggest that we must rethink what we mean by the term classic. This edition concludes with new historical evidence for the crucial role played by collaborationist native leaders, both Maya and non-Maya, in the Spanish conquest of the region. Fantastic. I think I picked up the eighth edition because I read about these new findings and it was expanded and revised. So I definitely wanted to take a look at that. So that is on my list. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get to this other one, but it's like a companion volume. It's not written by Coe, but also published by Thames and Hudson, and that's the Aztecs. This is third edition by Richard F. Townsend. So, yeah, very similar. Um, yes. When did this come out? They probably, depending on when. Oh, okay. This is 2009. They probably already have another edition out. These things just they're constantly updating, which is great. Which is great. You want to have the latest findings and stuff. I should say that the eighth edition on the Maya is from 2011. Okay, so this one is from 2009. Okay, so the Aztecs. It says here, from their remote origins as migrating tribes to their rise as builders of empire, the Aztecs were among the most dynamic and feared peoples of ancient Mexico. This fully revised edition of Richard Townsend's masterly study presents an expanded view of their history and cultural achievement and includes color plates for the first time. All right. The book now begins with a vivid evocation of the coronation rites of a new emperor, conveying the richness and diversity of Aztec civilization. Part of me, I'm going to wrestle with some of these names. Greater weight is given to the influence of preceding cultures at Teotihuacan, Xochicalco. I hope I'm pronounced. It begins with an X, so Xochicalco and Tula. Remarkable new discoveries are described, especially the 12-ton monolith of the goddess Taltecuhtli, found in the Great Pyramid Precinct. And I'm making that face at my pronunciation, not at the name. It's just I can't. I know that there's a phonetic way to pronounce this. I just don't have that at hand. Tlecuchtli, and I'm pronouncing that Tla La Te Kutli. La Te. Maybe I'm getting there. La Te Kutli, found in the Great Pyramid Precinct. Okay, a breakthrough in hieroglyphic decipherment reveals that many phonetic elements combine with pictographic forms in Aztec script, recalling conventions of classic Maya writing. This new edition ends with the conquest of Tenochtitlan by Spanish and Indian allies, as seen from the Aztec viewpoint, and the conclusion points out the importance of the Aztec legacy in the formation of modern Mexico. All right. I love getting these books. I love collecting them. On my bottom shelf down here, right behind me, on this shelf, right when you can't see my finger. There you go, right there. A lot of coffee table sized books, more heavily illustrated and artwork and pictures. Put out by certain publishers that do like Thames and Hudson, and then there's I think Amberley and Blackwell or something like that. I've got Roman emperors down there. I've got Egyptian queens. I've got I even got a book on Mexican warlords. But that book I wanted to include, but it's way past 500 AD, so it doesn't really fit in with this timeline. But maybe the next one, maybe the next quarter of Historathon 2024. So there you go. I wanted to represent something on our side of the globe, Mayas and Aztecs, as far as ancient history in North America, well, Central America, yeah, Central America. So there you have it. All right. So what are we looking at here? Let's see if Peg can do a stack with her limited energy. I did take one of the trees down yesterday. We're still taking the lights off the big tree, and we're a little slow. Martine was sick over Christmas, and she's better now, and I'm finally coming up out of things. I was able to go back to work, but actually, I was sick a day and a half this week. So I'm telling you, I was down for 2 weeks, guys. So I'm really sorry for the pause in videos and coming to Historathon 2024 so late. But I am here. I am a co-host again, and I've got a definite pile of possibilities here. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to reveal the two books I'll be reading. Wow, gosh, that's heavy. So there it is. That'll be my thumbnail. It's good to be back, guys. I missed you. Okay. I know you guys are out there. Choose this one. Choose that one. I don't know. Who knows? I could even change my mind. Well, one of them I'm not changing my mind on because I am writing a review of this book. You probably guessed it. The Killing Ground, a biography of Thermopylae, whatever suits your fancy. So actually, I'll have this read by the end of the month because my review's due at the end of the month. So I'm going to be diving into this one probably middle of next week. I've got it's Saturday, but I am working. My second, I'll say job, but my second thing, which I do, is I write book reviews, and I've got quite a bit. I've got to write two this weekend. I got to write a very long form book review on Monday and part of Tuesday. And then I have another one next week. And then I think I'll be free for a little while, and then I got to dive and start reading books that I have to have reviews for the end of the month. So but this will be one of them. So I can definitely come back and talk about this a little bit, but I can also point you to my written review because I don't want to take away from the place that is publishing my review. I'll just give you some general responses, but I'll link to my review in the description box. Okay, so decision time. Yeah, this other book I'm going to be keeping on my bedside, and I'll make my own notes. I won't be writing a review, but I'll be happy to include it at the end of the quarter for Historathon 2024 with The Killing Ground as far as my thoughts and feedback. And I am leaning towards this one pretty heavily, I think. They're all so good. They're all so good. Can you guess which one I'm going to show you? I will give you 3 seconds. Three, two, one. Bam! Shadow of Vesuvius, baby. A Life of Pliny by Daisy Dunn. I have been meaning to read this, and I really want to read it. And this is as good a reason now as any to get this done and talk about it. So yeah, these are my TBR. I have two books for the first quarter. Killing Ground and The Shadow of Vesuvius, guys. All right. It was good to be back. I'm gonna try to make a few more videos. I'm loving seeing the I use hashtags if you're looking for Historathon videos. I see people tagging things as Historathon, and then some people use the actual year, so Historathon 2023, and now we're using Historathon 2024. If you want the most recent, be sure to add the 2024 on the end. But I'm looking at my YouTube on screen here and my search, and I see lots of different. There's so many videos, you guys. There's so much out there. So check out all these Historathon videos by all these wonderful booktubers. Join the Discord. Check out the description box for all the details and how you can get involved. And yeah, come back, subscribe, hit the notifications. You can like or not like. I just want you to know it's out here. I want you to pick up a history book. I want you to read some stuff and make up your own mind about, just feed your brain. Your brain's hungry, folks. We live in a really brain dead era. I'm sorry, we do. Uh, we've got to educate ourselves. That's pretty much it at this point. It's all we got. It's all we got, baby. All right. On to the next video, guys. Let me know what you think of these books, these selections, what you're reading, what you're excited about. Let me know if any of these like really excited you and you're gonna pick them up. I'd be tickled pink to know that. All right, guys. So until next time, thanks for joining me here at the History Shelf. Take care and be healthy. Stay healthy. Bye.